Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group A, and my name is Jesika. And now, our group will presentate about the phenomenon of culture shock during the COVID-19 pandemic. The existence of the COVID-19 pandemic has made all life in the world change drastically. All work is done from home. In fact, some regions have implemented the PSBB or large-scale social restrictions. This, of course, has a very significant impact, especially on people's habit. Jobs that are usually done outside the home or in their respective workplace and now must follow the WFH work from home rules. Education that should be implemented in school is now online learning or also known as home learning. Another thing that we can find is the use of masks every time you leave the house, and you must wash your hands after traveling. Likewise, jobs such as traders in the market began to be restricted due to following rules to avoid crowds. This change in habit often makes some people complain and feel frustrated with the situation. For example, some parents complain that they feel overwhelmed in accompanying children to learn online. Likewise, with children who are less focused are not used to studying at home because they cannot interact with their friends. Daily workers who have lost their job due to a crowd avoidance rules, and many more complaints are felt by the public. The frustration arises from the inability to adopt the new habits. This is what is known as the culture shock phenomenon. Culture shock is a term used to describe the feeling of shock, anxiety, confusion that is felt when someone comes into contact with a culture that is completely different, such as when in a foreign country. That was also what some people felt during the COVID-19 pandemic. Living in your own country is like being in a foreign country because the pattern of life is very different from before. This feeling arises from differences and difficulties in adapting to new cultures.
Hello, my name is Sabila. Living in your own country is like being in a foreign country because the pattern of life is very different from before. This feeling arises from difference and difficulties in adapting to new culture. And cultural shock can include aspects that exist in everyday life such as food, clothing, price, and habits, and so on. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Jesika Hartini, 2017-231-27. I will explain about the stage of change in individual behavior condition facing the COVID-19 pandemic. First, the pre-contemplation stage, where a person does not realize the need for behavior change because the individual feels that the habit he does is normality. The second stage is called contemplation, where a person realizes the need to change. It could be said the current shock culture due to the COVID-19 pandemic is at this stage. The third stage, our educational model is in an effort to encourage people who know to be willing to make change. The last stage is action. The educational process must also continue at this stage, but the method is different. We are more focused on changing the behavior of someone who is willing to be able to change. Thank you.
Halo, my name is Salva and NRP 2017-230242. There are several things that can be done by the community to overcome the phenomenon of culture shock during the COVID-19 pandemic. And number one, think positively. This means that this epidemic is not considered a disaster, but rather on learning ourselves to always maintain cleanliness, care more about health, and have more time to build closeness with family. Uh, and two, doing positive activities at home. To avoid feeling bored at home, we can do some positive activities which are also used as opportunities to develop our inner potential. For example, those who have a hobby of cooking can try new recipes for family members. And 3. Apply interesting learning. This can be done by a teacher or parent of student. To avoid children boredom of carrying out online learning, children can be given online quizzes through contain application that contains several questions about the material.
Hello, I'm Alia Zahra, NRP 2018-230025. Based on this solution, the core thing we have to do to avoid a culture shock during the COVID-19 period is to think and behave positively. It can be start from yourself by thinking and behaving positively. We can spread positive vibration to the environment around us. This contributing to suppressing the spread of COVID-19. Thank you.